Hello lovelies, and welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful Mother's Day and whatever you're doing, whether that's being home or getting to go out and do something. I wanted to make another video about how I like to save money on things like activities and travel with my kids, and then also things around the house that I do to save money. Wanted to do a shout out to this like Jones Farm company that sent me like 10 or 11 coupons for Troy. Really likes their sausage and bacon, but all I had to do was reach out to them, let them know how much my son likes their stuff. Supposedly they treat their animals more fairly, you know, as far as that type of stuff goes. But anyways, yeah. Also, I wanted to put out there that Walgreens does a sneaky thing. If anybody has a Walgreens near them, they kind of know about this. But if you have a rewards program with them and you go to buy something, after you buy that thing, they'll give you coupons for like $7 to $5 off your next purchase that are only good for like a week. So what I've learned to do is I'll just like buy a pack of gum or something cheap. I'll get some cheap thing. If I know I need stuff from Walgreens that's going to be expensive, but I don't have to have it that day. Like, for example, Troy's Flintstone vitamins. And I will go back like the next day and I'll have these coupons with me. So I'll wait till they have like the buy one get one 50% off. And then I will use, like, this one is $5 off of $20. This one's $7 off of $25. And we end up using that to buy those Flintstone vitamins. And then we're good for a couple months. With that being said, I'd like to mention that his other vitamins that I have for him, like he takes a probiotic gummy. What I'll do with that is I go to their specific website. Originally, I found the gummies at like a natural grocery store, right? So I went onto the website, and first of all, they'll usually give you like a welcoming bonus your first time purchasing. So I went ahead and bought those probiotics in bulk because I know that they stay good for like 2 years. So things that are like not very perishable, I do try to buy in bulk if I know that we can use them all the time and they won't go bad. I mean, I saved like 40 bucks after it was all said and done. I had bought like 6 at a time instead of, you know, you going to the store buying one and buying one another month and buying one another month. I mean, it's more expensive to do that, plus you're making extra trips to the store that you wouldn't have to. And if you buy over, like in bulk, over usually it's like a $50 threshold, you get free shipping, so you don't even have to pay for shipping for that matter. So as far as stuff like that goes, that's another creative way to save money on stuff that your kids need and health stuff that your kids need. We do grow our own food. We do have the luxury of having land where we can grow our own food. It took us a long time to get there, and it kind of just happened. The universe made it work for us, so we're rolling with it and we're using what we have. Not only do we have adorable baby chickens, but we do utilize all of our food. So even if now at the grocery stores, I've noticed now, when I was a kid this wasn't as prominent, but they sell you seeds that don't necessarily regrow, or they won't regrow the same kind of vegetable. But in certain instances, like for example, bell peppers, you can utilize those seeds from the bell peppers and you can plant them and they will grow more bell peppers for you. They may not taste like exactly as crisp as the grocery stores. I personally haven't had like an issue with it, but we will regrow and repurpose any items from the grocery stores that we can. Garlic is another really easy thing to grow that is like has medicinal purposes, and they keep away pests and all sorts of stuff. So I would not discount your seeds every time you get something from the grocery store. Onions grow really well, so onions, garlic, bell peppers, things like that, really easy to regrow after you've purchased them from the grocery store. Doesn't really take any money. The only thing that you have to do is probably purchase some soil, because I use just plastic bins around the house. Like after we're done with our grapes, or after we're done with like the Abe's muffins, for example, we will just reuse the container. I got soil from like a discount store that I use a coupon with, so I basically pay like a couple dollars for soil. You water it, and it grows. Just keep it away from bugs and not too much heat or too much cold. So as far as around the house goes, I live in a hotter climate, but this can go either way. I like to start my cooking, especially for the summertime. I will cook what I need early in the day. Not only is that on the proper hours for my electricity, because if you're not on solar, there's on peak and off peak hours. Most people will cook on the on peak hours, which it's going to charge you a lot more money on your electricity bill if you're cooking when everyone else is cooking. So if you have the luxury to be able to start your food early in the morning, I would definitely take advantage of that before everything heats up. Because if you're turning on your oven and you have to have your AC on because it's like 80-90 degrees outside, where I live it could be 100 plus, and then you're cranking that oven on to cook something that's going to take 20-30 minutes plus the preheating time, and you're doing that on peak hours, that can really start to add up over time. It's harder on your appliances, and it's just harder to keep everything like at a conditioned environment. So if it's getting hot, I would recommend trying to cook earlier in the day before it starts to heat up in the house. If you can't do that, because I know not everyone has like the same schedules as each other, you could always get like a smaller appliance. We have this dual air fryer thing that you can turn on. It doesn't heat up the entire house, and if you need to cook it on an on-peak hour, it's going to be way less wattage to use than like per se our old oven. Hi guys, I really did try to do all that in one take, but duty calls and it is now the next day. I wanted to stay on the topic of how I save money on the electricity bill. Another thing with appliance wise is if I'm ever boiling a pot of water, or if I'm trying to bring something up to a boil quickly, as long as the directions don't specifically request to have no lid, I do put a lid on my pots, especially with boiling water, because it helps shorten the duration of the time that I need to have the stovetop on the oven on to get that water to per se a rapid boil. Keeping it with things like keeping the house cool in the summer and warm in the winter. I do also use blackout curtains. It really helps when the temperature outside is like 90 plus degrees. The sun is beating down through the windows. If the air conditioner is working really hard to keep our house at the proper temp, I will put the blackout curtains up, and it works the same if you're just trying to get light in the morning time. I won't turn on my bathroom light sometimes, and I'll just open the blackout curtains, and that also helps save me on the electricity bill there. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you and have a great day. Bye.